Thank you so much for joining us. And as you know, Paul Manafort is a convicted fraudster and tax cheat with ties, actually he had some ties to Russian intelligence services. So why would Trump, do you think, want to add him to his team right now?
Well, I've known Paul Manafort for over 40 years, and as a politician, he probably could bring some skills that Trump needs at this point, thinking about just what you were talking about, a general election campaign. And it's also typical of Trump. He reaches back to people like that and expects things from him. So it's not surprising. I think we'll probably see more of the same as time goes on.
Interesting. The former vice president, as you know, Mike Pence, says he cannot in good conscience, his words, endorse Donald Trump. But he's not saying if he will actually vote for him. Listen and watch this.
I cannot endorse the agenda that Donald Trump is carrying into this national debate.
Is that the final word from you? Can you be persuaded, if he changes tax, to vote for him? Would you vote for him?
I won't be endorsing Donald Trump this year. But look, I want to be clear.
But would you vote for him?
I respect the right of Republican voters who've made it clear who they're for, who they want to be our standard bearer this year.
So, Ambassador, do you see this as Pence potentially leaving the door open to vote for Donald Trump?
Well, I think he wanted to make it clear he was not endorsing him, obviously, and I wish he had gone further and said he wouldn't vote for him, because I think that would help persuade Republicans that they're somehow not betraying the party if they don't, and that could yet come.
You also heard Trump say it would be a, quote, bloodbath for the country, end quote, if he isn't elected. He claims he was referring only to the impact on the auto industry in the United States. Is that how you see that comment as well?
No, I think he knew exactly what he was saying, and he's just fortunate in retrospect that it happened to be near the comment about the cars. But I think he has said similar things before about the consequences if he doesn't win, because, as we know, he'll announce that the election was stolen, and he would be trying to get his supporters to be out in the streets about it. That speech was filled with other things. He said Liz Cheney, for example, should be prosecuted for her role in the January 6th committee. That's part of the retribution campaign that you're going to see if he's reelected. He was caught on an open mic over the weekend saying nice things again about Kim Jong-un. He said, you know, when Kim speaks, his people sit up and listen. I expect my people to do the same. So now Kim Jong-un's his role model for governance. All of these things hopefully will sink in and cause people not to vote for him, although he said similar things in the past and it hasn't worked.
I'm anxious to get your thoughts on this as well. Trump is promising to free the criminals who've been convicted, charged in the deadly January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, calling them hostages and patriots. As you know, many of these people are charged with assaulting and impeding police officers. What's your reaction to that?
Well, it's another Trump assault on the Constitution. Remember, he called for it to be the Constitution to be suspended so that he could be declared the winner of the 2020 election. None of the people who have been arrested and prosecuted by federal prosecutors for January 6th should have been on the Capitol grounds to begin with. Most of them know it. There's simply no excuse for it. I think their sentences could have been higher, and I certainly don't think any of them should be pardoned.
Ambassador John Bolton, thanks as usual for joining us.
Thank you.
And just ahead, Vladimir Putin officially secures another 6 years in power. The re-elected Russian